At Naha School, now an evacuation centre for those who've lost their homes, they've just had their first delivery of aid. It's the absolute basics: toilet paper, torches, candles, blankets and soap.
When we go to toilet, we need toilet papers. When we go and get water, we need the bucket. And when our kids, where they need towel, there's towel. So everything in the box is needed.
This was one of Honiara's main streets when the flooding there was at its worst. But it was the water that suddenly poured down the Matanico Valley that did the most damage. When a landslide broke a natural dam in the hills above town, it unleashed a torrent and horror. You can only imagine the force of the water as it rushed down the hill and through this valley. That house just lifted up, only stopped in its tracks by the coconut trees. Albert and his wife Christina were washed away along with their house. Albert has no home now, nor wife. Only he survived.
I feel really terrible because my beloved has gone and there's no one to support me now.
In the camps, while people are grateful for donations, they want more. Babies need nappies, children clothes, and clean water is an issue. Already there have been outbreaks of diarrhoea.
The sort of number of people affected here, 52,000, and it probably doesn't seem that many when you compare it to sort of India or some other contexts. But in Solomon Islands, that's 10% of the population, and you're also in a country which is, you know, in the bottom 40 in the world, so it has limited infrastructure and people have limited income.
We have the relief agencies that are supporting us very well, and then we have the donor partners, Australia and New Zealand, are giving full support to the relief agencies.
Australia was initially criticised for offering little aid, but its government has now increased what it's giving. This military cargo plane arrived on Wednesday night. Doctors, soldiers and logistics experts were on board, as well as supplies. Many who died in last week's floods were children. One concern is that it will be children too who bear the brunt of any outbreak of illness or disease. For some, the novelty of their new life hasn't yet worn off, but it will, fast. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Honiara.